Hello and welcome to another episode of Classic Games Revisited. I'm your host Ami, and today we are reviewing RealSports Football for the Atari 2600. Ah, what a special treat. A fully boxed, sealed copy of RealSports Football for the Atari 2600. I think RealSports was a division of Atari, but I'm not positive. Here on the back we have use your joystick controller with this game. That's good to know. Hold the controller the proper way. There's a screenshot of the action. Computer video game program. And there's the happy family. So overjoyed that they're playing Atari football. One or two players, it's good to know, because I don't have anyone to play Atari with anymore. And for the sacrilegious part, I haven't done this in many decades, but I am opening a brand new Atari game. It took me a minute to compose myself before I actually did this. And the wrapper goes off. And it was a little difficult to actually open, being sealed for a long time. And there is something interesting about this copy of Atari RealSports Football. The copyright date on the box and on the instruction manual is 1988. I looked it up and it appears that this game was published in 1982. So I guess this is a reprint of some kind? A second printing of the game? I don't know if that's possible. I don't know why anyone would be, remaking Atari games in 1988. The Nintendo NES was in full force by then. Atari was probably just a long forgotten memory. But there it is. Out of the box, brand new. 1988 Atari Corp. Yeah, I don't even know what to make of that. Maybe it's some kind of secret Atari release. Who knows? And inside the box, we have other goodness to verify its authenticity. Atari's limited 90-day warranty. For computer products, cassettes, cartridges, or diskettes, I think it's expired. I don't know. If it doesn't work right, couldn't hurt to send it in the mail. Provided they're still in Sunnyvale, California, with the same P.O. box. The manual. Looks pretty cheap. It's silver and black two-tone. It's not a color printed manual. I guess Atari was hurting at this point financially. And yeah, it's a manual on how to play football, which is fairly self-explanatory if you live in North America. Yeah, I don't really need to read about how to play football. And it explains all the numbers, which are pretty much intuitive. Here's your player icon. The direction, which is really shouldn't be stated. A diagonal line is moving diagonally, and a straight line is moving straight. And we have console controls. I don't need to read that. It's an Atari. It's pretty simple. And we have some offensive, defensive plays. Again, what do you want? It's an Atari game. I mean, there's one button. It can't be too complex. There's a picture of a player and a ball. Ball being that white blip. Helpful hints. Blah, 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 blah. Good to know. I'll remember to refer to that if I need helpful hints. And there's a spot in the instruction manual to pencil in your scores if you want to keep track of such a thing. And there's the manual. Again, copyright 1988. So that still astounds me. I don't know what the deal is with that. Nothing else in the box. Nothing up my sleeves. I think it's about time to play some Atari games. So let me set this down and let's plug it in and see what's doing. Good old RealSports Football for the Atari 2600. Okay. Here we have the start screen. And the game begins. The player controls the blue team, unnamed, mysterious blue-shirted, blue-skinned team. Your opponents, the yellow team. And first thing I noticed quickly, after destroying any kind of collectible value of this thing by unwrapping it and unsealing it and ripping it out of its box, is that this game totally sucks. It's possibly the worst Atari game I've ever played. The controls suck. Half the time it's a mystery where the ball is when you're in the action. When you go to throw the ball, you just throw it away. It'll go right through players. I don't know what that's about. I mean, what's with the ball making those, hard 90-degree turns in the air? I just don't get it. I don't know. The other thing I quickly noticed is that it appears to be playing off in real time. The game clock is in real time. So we're looking at an hour-long Atari game that you'd have to suffer through to find out who would be the victor of Atari RealSports football. Now, enough of the bad points. Let's take a look and see if we can find any good points. The player animations for running and some kind of bunny hop thing that the yellow defensive team seems to be doing. Actually, they're offensive now, but some kind of bunny hop. It's pretty poor, but the running animations aren't bad, and the tackling animations are, I'd say, decent. I'd say better than average for an Atari game and the limitations of the system. And that's about all I can say good about it. It has decent running animations, and that bunny hop thing is kind of amusing to watch in some weird way. And yeah, apparently you can score just by moving the ball across the line, not actually carrying it across the line, the goal line, that is. I don't know what that's about, if that's supposed to be a field goal or something, but apparently if you can kick the ball across the goal line, it counts too. It's good to know, doesn't really operate by any, rules of football I'm familiar with, but hey, it's Atari. You have to suspend disbelief and use your imagination a little bit sometimes. I like that zigzag the ball just did there. It's a little bit ridiculous. And this game appears to be pure torture. I could not seem to advance the ball at all. Every time I attempted to pass, it just totally got thrown away. It would go right through players sometimes, and but I couldn't get their little digital fingers to grab onto it. And again, I don't know what that's about. The ball just seems to kind of go by itself around corners and things. Couldn't tell you what's going on there. Yeah, I can see why. I should note that this game, I picked it up at a convention, and I was actually looking just for a set of Atari paddle controllers. And this nice vendor had an entire 2600 system, 2 controllers, and a paddle controller, and this boxed Atari game sealed in the box for $40. And I thought, why spend the money on just a paddle controller when I can walk out of there with an entire system, 2 joystick controllers, and paddle controllers? And you know what? And a free game. I thought this is a deal of a century. And now I know why that game was free. Thank you. Tune in again for another episode of Classic Games Revisited. I'm your host, Dami. Until next time.